Hey there, VC, back to another video. And with this, I'd like to do a response to the 20 questions vinyl tag video that's going around. So, I figured I might as well do one. The first question is, how many records do I have in my collection? I'd guess, including singles, I have about 2,500 records because I have a lot of shelves, I have a lot of albums that I've gotten within the past 6 years. And the second question, what kind of turntable am I using? I have two right now. One of them is a Pioneer PL-600 Silver, and the other one is a JVC QL-Y5F. Third one, what age did I start collecting? So I started collecting when I was 12 years old because my grandma had given my mom this really kind of crappy record player. It was a Detrola all-in-one that had the CD player and the cassette and everything. My mom wasn't using it and it was sitting in the garage, so I just kind of dug it out. The fourth question is, what is the oldest record in your collection? This is the oldest one I have. It's an Edison Diamond disc. This is from about the late 1800s to early 1900s. It's a fourth of an inch thick, okay? And the songs on here are When Uncle Joe Plays a Rag on His Old Banjo and Flanagan and His Motor Car. So yeah, very interesting. Early etched label. I know some of the later Edison ones had a paper label. This is one of the very early etched labels, so really cool to have that. Next question is, what is the first record I got, okay? So after finding the record player I was telling you guys about earlier, my mom likes to go to thrift stores, so one day when we went, I started looking through the records and I found this, okay? Admittedly, I did not take very good care of this record. I would bring it to school, I was in middle school at the time, and show it off to people like, oh, I got this record, it's so cool. And when I got this, honestly, it was like near mint when I got this. And, oh, I beat this thing so bad. I feel bad for it. Jefferson Starship, Nuclear Furniture. Yeah, just look at the wonderful condition that I kept this album in when I first got it. Okay, it didn't have any of the tape or stuff. This was legitimately like a near mint copy with a beautiful cover. But I was young and didn't know any better. I was probably, like I said, 12. Has the original inner sleeve, which has a lot of tape on it. I made sure I really went overkill with the tape. And the disc I kept surprisingly in really good condition. Like, the disc on it is still nice. It still plays nice. When I first got it, it skipped on the first track, but then after playing it for a long time, because I used to play this album all the time when I first started collecting, it quit skipping. So, this is the first record I ever owned. Nuclear Furniture, Jefferson Starship. Next question in here. What is the first record I got with my own money? I honestly don't remember the first record I got with my own money, okay? Because my parents were like, oh, well, here's this, get this from the thrift store. Whenever I find anything at the thrift store, I'd put it in the cart and they'd get it. But the earliest record, I remember them giving me money to spend whatever I want on. Of course, I bought a record with it. This is the earliest one I can remember doing that with. It's Paul McCartney's New. This came out like 2013. And once again, admittedly, I didn't take the best care because I made sure to split the shrink wrap. And I did, in later years, keep it in a nice poly-lined inner sleeve, but still, the damage, I won't say the damage is done to the record because there's like spindle trails on the label and there's some scratches, but nothing too major. If I can recall correctly, a lot of these scratches were on here when I first got the record. And I'm telling the truth with that. A lot of those scratches were there. And I did something really stupid when I first started collecting. I noticed that the booklet had this weird kind of where they folded it, that the black was kind of fading. So I figured, let me Sharpie it back in to make sure you can't notice. Well, it kind of leaked through onto the excess pages, if you can see that. And yeah, that was really stupid, but it's one of the earliest records I remember ever getting. So I remember the store I went to get this, which is the normal store I go to, Groovy Records. He had this in like a week before the vinyl release was supposed to even come out. So I went there the day this came out and got it. The next question is, what is my favorite colored vinyl in my collection? There's so many answers that I could get for that. But I just want to put this because this is kind of a unique one because this is an album. It's very easy to find the gold vinyl of this. We're an American Band by Grand Funk Railroad, okay? But this one, I guess when they were making the colors they didn't mix the colors quite right, and instead of it being like a yellow color, it's like an amber color, and it's... Let me just show you it, because I love the color of this vinyl. It is just such a beautiful color. It's like a mixed red, blood orange. It's just such a unique color. It looks so great in person. It's black with splotches of red, yellow, of course, gold. And I think that looks absolutely stunning. And I have many records I could have shown that I'm going to show later on in the video that could apply for this. But it's just, I feel like this is just a wonderful piece of colored vinyl. The next one is, what is a discount album I got, okay? So, at the time I got this album, it was at a store in Colorado, because I go to Colorado every summer. And I would start working at this store, but before I got this record, I wasn't working there. But I did do a trade, and it was... So I technically got this for free, but the album that I traded was a beat-up copy of Frank Zappa's Zootillers, however you pronounce it. And that was $1, so technically this was $1 in the trade, okay? This is the Wailers Katchafire, okay? It's really... You never find this album, like, ever, because there was about, I think, 10,000 or 20,000 made of the Zippo cover when it first came out, and of course they weren't popular at the time, so it didn't sell well at all. And, of course, it's come detached with time. But this is just so really hard to find, okay? It has the original inner, which the record doesn't even fit anymore, so I made this one. And then I keep it in this poly-lined inner sleeve. And the disc on it is, you know, good plus, VG minus. It plays pretty well. It's very glossy, but it's just, you know, and it's an original US pressing on Island. It's just a very, very hard album to find. So... This is kind of like my grail, okay? Next, what is my prized possession, okay? That's easy, because I just got this album recently, too. It is my Sgt Pepper UHQR box set, okay? Sounds great, very hard to find. Got it for a good price, because generally this thing sells into the high hundreds. I got this in the very low hundreds, $200. But yeah, really, I was impressed to find that, because it was on the site for about 3 weeks, and no one made an offer on it at all. Alright, so next one, show a female artist. Okay, I got this while I was in Colorado, too, at a city thrift. It's Linda Ronstadt's Greatest Hits, still in partial shrink for the most part, partial shrink. And it's a gatefold cover, so you don't find too many gatefolds in the shrink. It has tape on the inner sleeve, though, which I hate. But the disc on it looks just about mint, so, you know, that kind of makes up for it. I could always find a better inner sleeve anyway, because the disc on it, you can't really upgrade the cover unless you find it in more shrink instead of just torn shrink. Alright, so, show a record by your favorite band. Okay, I'll show this. It's original mono press of Please Please Me by the Beatles. This is the 4th or 5th pressing, I don't remember, but it has the... black and yellow Parlophone label, and it has recording first published 1963, but it doesn't have the sold in UK text, so this would have been summer of 63 to about January of 64, if I remember right, and it's the Ernest J day cover. Disc on it's real nice, and I got it for a good price. An impulse buy, okay? I got this one just because the cover was interesting. And it turns out this is a hard-to-find psych album. It's like hard rock psych, and I really enjoyed this album. And I really only got it because the cover kind of fascinated me. But you wouldn't expect that this is such a heavy album, okay? It's such a heavy album. Tucky Buzzard, okay? Original US pressing. They press this on the green Capitol label and the red Capitol label. I have the red Capitol of it. This came out in 71, I believe. But another one that's really hard to find. When I first got this, because I got it for free, the job I was working at, they were selling records. They're like, oh, just take what you want. So I grabbed this, and it turns out it's like a $50 album in good condition. Alright, show a gift. There's many gifts I can show, but this is the first record gift I ever got. It was from a friend who also collects, and it's just something that I remember being so happy to get when he gave it to me. It's the Velvet Underground and Nico. It's a picture disc from Russia. I just thought it was really neat. Alright, so my most played record. Okay, there's a lot that I could fit into my most played, but this will definitely be it. Alright, this is a UK stereo first press of Sgt Pepper. Let me open this up. This one deserves to be looked at. Original UK stereo copy. I honestly would wish this was the mono copy, but hey, you know, I can't complain. It's an original. Especially since the disc on it is so clean. It is just such a beautiful original copy. It has the cutouts. The inner sleeve, when I got it, in the pictures, the guy tried to make it look like an original. In reality, he just took US sleeve and cut it. So when I got it, I was like, really? But, you know, I can't complain. It has the original inner insert, which has the mustache cut out. But, like I said, I can't really complain, because I got this for a lot less than what you normally see UK Sgt Pepper's going for. So, really, my most played record right there. Next, show a rarity, okay? This one could also fit under an impulse buy and a discount album, because I got this for cheaper than it normally goes for. The Shangri-La's Leader of the Pack. This is an original on Redbird Records. This is very hard to find. I haven't seen a copy for sale on Discogs yet of the original. This album has been reissued, but the original is just very hard to come by. Should I take... Nah, I'm not going to take it out, but, you know, it's just really... You don't find this album, okay? And, of course, the cover has... It's kind of minor wear, but the disc on it is pretty okay. You know, VG minus. Next, show a rainy day record. I don't know why I associate this album with a rainy day, but it's just kind of ragtime kind of stuff, and it could also be one under a recent buy, I guess. Leon Redbone on the track. It also just has kind of a cool cover. It could be a very rainy day record, very folky kind of. He has a deep voice too, and I don't know why, but I associate deep voice singers with a rainy day. I guess that's just me though. But Leon Redbone on the track. Next, show a feel-good record. This record I always associate with good memories because my bandmates and I listen to this record all the time. We love this album. We were so excited when it was coming out. And yeah, we all have the same edition of this because we all got it. It's the teal vinyl edition of the Monkees' Good Times, limited to 1,000 copies. I was just so happy to get this when it came out. And this could also be under my favorite colored vinyl. I love this teal color. But I love this album so much. It is my favorite. It's probably my favorite Monkees album at this point because it's just such a great album throughout. And if it's the final album from the Monkees, then they went out with quite a bang because, you know, I would have rather they did something like this than another Justice, because Justice, don't lie, it wasn't that great of an album. Justice wasn't great, but this is just such a great album. I love Good Times, and I always associate it with Good Times. Next, show a nostalgic album. This is one I remember having on CD, and my parents always had this album. They loved it, they listened to it constantly, and it's a very common album. It's one of the best-selling albums ever made. It's the Eagles, their greatest hits, 1971 to 75. I remember my parents had a bunch of CD copies of this. They were always listening to it in the car. They're Eagles fans, and of course everyone has a copy of this in their collection. You know, everyone has to have a copy of this. Really good album, okay? Next, show a record store they purchased. Going back to the Monkees, I got Good Times Plus. This is on like a flesh-colored vinyl. It's very, very interesting. It's a 10-inch. I feel like I should show the vinyl since it's colored, since, you know, it has some interest to it since it's colored vinyl. Yeah, on this nice, almost pinkish vinyl. I really like the color on it. Very interesting. You don't see that on vinyl too often for a color like that. Good Times Plus. And the final question is show a recent buy, okay? So, this is a recent purchase, and I got this on Christmas, and it took like a month to get here because I had to have it shipped from Italy. And it's an original copy of this very hard-to-find psychedelic classic, okay? An original mono press of the 13th Floor Elevators, the psychedelic sounds of... Really, it's a very desirable album, very great album. I listen to this album constantly. This could go under my most played, too, because I listen to this album in Easter Everywhere just about every day. Original on international artists. So I was really, really excited to find that. So thank you guys for watching my video. And please be sure to make your own video and tell me if you do, because I would love to watch yours. So, thanks so much for watching, and if you like this, please like, comment, subscribe, and peace to every single one of you.